Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to episode 53 of the Survival series. So, in this episode, we're going to take care of something that's been broken pretty much since the day it was built, back in episode maybe 17 or just a very long time ago. And that is the stuff behind this wall, the switch, and the hopper minecart that's underneath near empty chests. Now, what this is wrong room. Okay, let's try entering through here. That's more like it. So, this here is a melon and pumpkin farm, and I ended up having to shut it off because it just didn't work at all, and it was getting too laggy. So, I just permanently shut it off, and today we are going to finally fix up this melon and pumpkin farm and get it back into working order. So I guess the first thing to do is to tear down the current melon and pumpkin farm. I designed this myself, and it was in the early days when I really didn't understand the concepts behind melon and pumpkin farms. So we're just gonna tear this entire thing down and just leave the room, and possibly even expand it out to the birch walls. And this farm was built even before I put in all the interior decorations for this place. Okay. Oh, and now it decides to work. So after I've already removed all the pistons and gold blocks and all the water to make this actually work, now the pumpkin farm starts working. What is up with that? So now I'm also going to break this down here. This is a melon farm over here, and they were in separate rooms. But since it's going to be hidden away anyway, there's really no point in keeping these rooms separate. So I'm just going to merge the two rooms together and grow both pumpkins and melons in this one gigantic long room. Also, I'm going to be using Ilmango's design of a pumpkin and melon farm, which, just to make things interesting, I have not tested at all in creative mode. So, yeah, this project actually has a chance of completely failing, which is alright. It's not a huge loss of resources, and this is a fun project anyway. So, just gonna make it more fun by not testing anything out in creative mode first. Although I do need to unload my inventory. Alright. Same thing's happening here. It's like the minute I actually disable the farm, or disable the automation part of the farm, it starts working. Like it starts growing the melons and pumpkins. How bizarre. So I just dismantled the border that crosses the room here. I'm now going to dismantle this dark oak wall because it's unnecessary. The farm is already separated with the jungle wood wall, which of course I broke into. Alright. Here we go. So now I'm just gonna finish dismantling this farm, dismantling the hopper minecart track, and then we can finally get started on Ilmango's design of the pumpkin and melon farm, which is pretty much guaranteed to be at least 10 times more efficient, because that's just how Ilmango's farms work. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to you once I finish clearing this old farm out. Wow, this place looks so empty without all the farms inside it. So now it is time to build Ilmango's design of a pumpkin and melon farm. That, I'd like to reiterate that I did not test this in creative mode at all, so I have no idea. In fact, this will be the first time even watching the video, so I have no idea if this is going to work at all. So now that I've watched part of the video, which, by the way, the link will be in the description, I realized that this is going to be extremely expensive in a resource that I happen not to have in bulk. That being detector rails. I also don't have the ability to create iron in bulk. And mining just isn't going to cut it, because I already spent most of my iron on hoppers and things like that. So I pulled out this diamond hoe from the mansion that we conquered several episodes ago. And I'm going to fly up to the big island here, because it's got this contraption right here, which is still usable because we're still in 1.12. Now what this contraption is a rail duplicator, and in our case we need lots and lots of detector rails. So I've been using this duplicator quite a lot, but kind of on and off. So let's see, we got a whole bunch of normal rails. I don't have it set to duplicate powered rails because those are made from gold and redstone, and I have absurd amounts of those. And also, they are extremely cheap and farmable. So that's not a problem. But things like activator rails and detector rails are made from iron as part of the recipe, and that makes them very expensive. So now, I'm just gonna turn this thing on and duplicate some detector rails, and hopefully gather enough to build this melon and pumpkin farm. I hope this is enough detector rails. It's probably overkill, but that's not a big deal. I'm also going to need the whole bunch of powered rails to build this thing. So now I'm going to actually watch the tutorial bit and see if this is even doable here. I suppose I should have done that before I gathered so many detector rails. This is why it pays to watch the video before you try to build the farm, because, well, the farm uses a 9 block wide platform, but I only have 8 blocks of clearance here before I run into this wall. I don't want to move this wall, and this is the outside wall. So I guess we're just gonna have to cut down on the efficiency a little bit. That's probably not gonna hurt the efficiency too badly. Also, my goal is not to make the most efficient melon and pumpkin farm in the world, like competing against producing several million pumpkins and melons an hour, because otherwise this room would be much bigger, or I'd build it somewhere else. I just want a melon and pumpkin farm that I could possibly use in future villager trading. So, yeah, looks like I'm going to have to cut down on the efficiency a little bit. So I only have 8 blocks of clearance here, plus this room is rather long, and it doesn't divide evenly by 9. So I also had to add an extra pit here for water, which is alright. We're going to need to modify yet another aspect of Ilmango's design, that being the fact that that particular design involved translocation to move the hopper minecart between different layers. Now, I'm not sure how I'm even going to handle the different layers with this farm. I'm probably going to need to, maybe on the next layer up, I'm going to have to cut off yet another part so that I can actually put something in to unload the hopper minecart. But over here, I have pretty much total freedom to do what I want, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a simple little hopper minecart unloading system, just like this. Here we go. And there we go. So now that we have this, we're going to need to somehow connect this to some sort of storage. And I think I'm right above. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit awkward to get around. However, in a future episode, in fact in a episode in a not too far future, I'm going to move all the resources from these farms over to the bulk storage room, and also put in a mechanism in which I can automatically move things to the bulk storage system. So that's coming soon, but that's not happening now, and I want to have this farm active, or at least know whether or not it would be active by the end of this episode. So for now, I'm just going to put a simple little trapdoor elevator, just like that. Okay, so now that this hopper minecart unloading system works, we can now turn on all the powered rails here. Pop, done. That, I'm pretty sure can just stay unpowered, or I could just move this lever. There we go. Okay, so now I would like to test out this rail system to make sure it could actually work. And of course I used up all the hoppers, so let me just enter pearl out of here. Right. I think one of these shulker boxes has a whole bunch of hoppers in it. There we go. I just need one though. Yeah. All the previous specials have these shulker boxes just overflowing everywhere. I mean, I have shulker boxes full of pistons and observers and fireworks from episode 50. I have still 3 shulker boxes full of redstone components from episode 42. So I'm probably gonna have to add a separate room to the box storage system just for redstone components. Anyways, here we go. We now have a hopper minecart, and let's send it on its way. Just to test it out and make sure that everything works. So here we go, and of course it's going the wrong way. Okay. Now how do I fix that? I could just kink up this rail a little bit. So let's see. It goes that way, then that way, then this way, then that way, and then it needs to jump over the gap going this direction. And so it needs to be coming onto the rail going this direction. So from the unloading station, basically needs to do that, except then it also needs to connect in over here. Ooh, I have an idea. Can do that. Nope. Okay. So I could make this rail curve. There we go. Now the question is, will this rail curve this way, or is it going to curve this way? Of course it's going to curve the wrong direction. How am I going to make it curve the way I want it to? After a lot of effort, I finally have it here. So this rail is now curved in such a way where it will return to this docking station over here whenever it is once it's done its little lap. So I'm going to drop some cobblestone right here, and we're going to send it on its way to make sure that it picks up all the, at least that the unloading station works, and that this rail actually works. Here we go. So you can kind of imagine having some dirt platforms here just all over the top of these rails, and this hopper minecart would be picking up melons and pumpkins left and right. Alright. It's about to reach the end, at which point it will be the moment of truth. And somebody, don't know where that piston came from, but here we go. Oh. Okay, looks like the jump worked, but now does it unload? No. Of course not. Okay, so looks like everything works except for this one tiny little part that actually makes the unloading station work. Okay. So I'm just gonna let it go back and forth some more, and then we can actually do the full test before we actually build up the dirt for the melon and pumpkin farm. All of the dirt is now in place. I do not yet have the hopper minecart running around, but I'll put that in last. So I need some glowstone here, and looks like I got the perfect amount of glowstone. However, I need water. So I could either grab a bucket and fill up some water on the farmland here, but I figured might as well use the elevator that we built last episode to the bulk storage room. The lag-free and non-lag dependent elevator to and from the storage system. So here we go, we just need some ice. There we go. I'm gonna bring in extra just in case one melts. And now all I gotta do is just climb up this minecart elevator by spamming right click. And then, okay. Looks like the minecart couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go. There we go. And now, just gotta jump out into the mansion. There we go. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And the uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. Looks like I gotta light the place up. And that's what happens when you walk away from an unlit room for 5 seconds. Get away from me, creeper. Please. I don't want you to undo my hard work. Goodbye, creeper. Okay. Oh boy. I did not expect this room to fill up so quickly with mobs. Then again, this is the only place around here where mobs can spawn, so it's not all that surprising that this amount would spawn here. Plus I got some extra gunpowder, which is pretty cool since I currently don't have any way of farming gunpowder, except through witches. Here we go. Best part about ice is that you can just place one down and place a glowstone on top and it'll just melt on its own. There we go. Resolve the lighting glitches. Okay. All the rails are in place. All the glowstone and water is in place. So now it's time to use this hoe here. And I'm probably not going to get that secret advancement where, not so secret advancement, but the one where you completely use up a diamond hoe. So I'm probably not going to be able to do that in this one round here. We'll get that advancement eventually. But okay, so according to Ilmango's video, I need to put this in a checkerboard pattern. But I gotta check to make sure I do this properly. I'm not sure if this is a good sign or not, but one of these layers takes up a little over 200 uses of this hoe. And of course, I decided just to hold the entire ground and let the planting of the pumpkins and melon seedlings figure out which dirt actually needed to be hoed and not. So, according to the video, it is now time to build the next layer of the farm. So I'm thinking on the first layer, on this first layer could be a pumpkin farm, and then the layer above it can be a melon farm. So here we go, and these are supposed to be redstone blocks. Let me just get over to my set of shulker boxes and begin putting in the extra next layer. See you then. So after having to rebuild this upwards platform over here and realizing that it's actually for the sticky pistons and not for the next set of rails, I'm now going to place in the seeds. It's a little bit out of order from the rest of the tutorial, but that's okay. And auto jump is going to get a little bit annoying at this point, so I'm just going to turn it off. There we go. Right, so now I'm just going to place these pumpkin seeds in checkerboard pattern like this, all the way across all across the entire field. and then I'll get back to you once I'm ready to place in all the pistons, or sticky pistons in this case. The unthinkable just happened. I ran out of pumpkin seeds. I could not plant this entire field. So that kind of worries me about the supply of melon seeds. But pretty soon those seeds will start growing pumpkins, so maybe that's not going to be such a big problem. I guess only time will tell. But for now, let's place in these sticky pistons, and also all the trapdoors that are going to be on the face of these sticky pistons. And these sticky pistons with trapdoors are going to be right above where I would put, where the stems would put a pumpkin. So the sticky pistons are also going to be in a checkerboard pattern, which is pretty cool. Alright, I'll catch up to you later once I'm done with all the sticky pistons and the trapdoors on this layer. Ah, a pumpkin. Perfect. And also, I'll do my best to... I'll try to replant this... Well, finish planting this entire field. Alright. I can see what Ilmango meant by this being one of the most efficient pumpkin farms out there, because just from running down to the bulk storage room and coming back up here to get trapdoors, this field grew immense amounts of pumpkins. So now I'm just going to place in these trapdoors and make this automatic. After that, I also got to add the second floor, which will have all all melons, since this floor had entirely melons. So now I got to navigate around all these pumpkins that just suddenly grew, and then we'll be good. A lot of rework later, after realizing that the ceiling was too low to actually put a second layer, I now hopefully this thing will still work. So now we just gotta place in the powered rails and the detector rails. Another thing I did was remove all the redstone blocks above the glowstone in the water, because, well, the detector rails are gonna do the powering of these rails for us. So this minecart track is going to need to be a block shorter, a block shorter in width than usual. So what this means is I'm going to need to pull out some more gold blocks, like so, and essentially block this part off, just like this. Oops, what the? That was weird. Okay, so I'm just going to block this part off, and this way all the staggering with the detector rails and the powered rails, they're just going to go along in a loop in this 7 block wide grid. They're also going to go along this little part over here, and they're just going to bud power the pistons below. So here we go, and we're just going to alternate detector rails and powered rails. So hopefully this does work. At this point, it's really, I've kind of deviated from Ilmango's design quite a lot, so hopefully it still works. Because if it doesn't, then this is just going to be another failed part. This is just going to be another humongous fail. I'm going to have to cut into this room in order to actually make these rails bend the way I want them to, but that's not a big deal because those rooms are soon going to be replaced with something else, because having a manual farm for for carrots and potatoes, I'm soon going to change that. That's actually one of the, I think it's the next thing on the agenda, and if not, it soon will be. So here we go. Just gonna alternate the detector rails and powered rails. That was just bound to happen. When I'm building right next to the cactus farm, which has water in it, of course it's going to spill in here. And that's exactly what happened. So now I just need to get down under here with my elytra and fix this up. Man, that water made a mess. Alright. Let's fix this problem. Okay. Now, having a rail go this way, I realized was going to be problematic. So, to fix this problem, I'm just going to put the hopper minecart unloader right here. And as for powering all the pistons over on this final row, I think I'm just going to use observer blocks. And lots of them. So, let me just hop into the room over here and pull out as many observers as I can possibly carry, because this is going to take a lot. Probably that many. Okay, so here's the crazy plan that I had on how to power all of these pistons. I'm going to need to jump down here and jump into elytra mode, unless I can do something like this. Hang on. Does this work? First off, I gotta actually pull the signal from the detector rail over here. And then, okay, those technicalities can be figured out later, but as for this, what I want to find out is if I have chained observers, will it still quasi power the pistons? So if I were to do something like this, and just chain a whole bunch of observers together like this, would it be able to power all those pistons? And where I can check is by placing a pumpkin there. So, well, I can just wait for a stem to grow a pumpkin for me. Alternatively, I can also just hop down here and harvest my own pumpkins. And now I'm stuck. Okay, I manually placed 2 pumpkins underneath the 2 pistons that are powered by this. And now for the test. Will it break those pumpkins? And the answer is yes, they will. There's actually 2 answers. That second answer being I'm stuck again. And now for the ultimate test. Will this work? Here we go. So, I now have a hopper minecart going along its way, and what I want to test is, will this hopper minecart make it the entire track, and also make it back? So it seems to be creating quite a lot of piston noise. So it seems like it would work. So, and it also seems to be going at a pretty consistent speed, which is a good sign. And then finally, I also want to check and make sure the hopper minecart item unloading system works. Okay, the hopper minecart's coming back, so I'm just going to drop these 17 gold blocks, and they should all be unloaded into this stream of hoppers that I just put in here. Here we go. Scoop them up. So it's basically going to scoop up the melons that are brought down from, or that are destroyed from the layer above. And I really don't have much space up above this area. Might have to improvise. Here we go. And off it goes again. Except it doesn't make it up the hill. Uh-oh. There we go. Got it. Okay. The system works, and now it's time to make sure that this hopper minecart can make it up the hill. And there are those 17 gold blocks. So now let's build up the layer on top for all the melons. Alright, so I chose to kind of take a lazy approach to dealing with the melons, and actually putting them into the storage system, or whatever storage we're going to have for this. So all the melons that come from the layer above are going to be unloaded from the hopper minecart and just carried by hopper down to this dropper, which is just going to dispense the melons onto the rails. Which the minecart for the pumpkins will pick up. So here we go. Now all we gotta do is just make the the hopper line, which that's really the easiest part about this. Here we go. Just gotta break this, make sure there's nothing in those hoppers, and there we go. Now they're all connected. And now we can begin on the layer above this for all the melons. Just as soon as I unload all this junk. Since I have so limited space, I could not bend the rails like I did for the pumpkin layer. So instead, we're just going to have to improvise by just placing some ice and glowstone on top and hoping that'll do the trick, which it probably will. So, that's pretty much it. This is the way we're going to hydrate the farmland here. And then we can till all the soil. Yeah, there we go. And then we can till all the soil and plant all the melons and then find a way to harvest them. So here's a view from the camera account on what we have for the melon layer. So I have the view from the camera account because currently I can't slide in here, but I basically have an entire platform of observers powering all these pistons all at once, or almost all at once. These observers get their signals from this redstone wire, which I still need to hook up to this little contraption here so that when the hopper minecart passes this detector rail, it will basically harvest every single melon. So that's pretty neat. And then the hopper minecart's still chugging along quite nicely, harvesting the pumpkin layer. And this hopper minecart here is still quite busy unloading some random things that then happen to fall down here. So now all that's left to do is to hook up this redstone wire, which that's a pretty quick job. There we go, just some quick little observer wiring to power that redstone line from this setup over here, and we're all good. Okay, so we now have functional pumpkin and melon farms that are being actively harvested. Unfortunately, I don't have any sort of shut-off switch, but I don't think I need one. This isn't all that laggy, and it's not exactly all that lag-friendly, but it is not very laggy either. So now all we gotta do is just clean up the mess. And I think I'm just going to do that off camera because the cleanup is going to take a lot longer than the cleanup is going to take a little while. So that will do me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please let me know. I will see you next Saturday, hopefully, for episode 54. See you then. Bye.